In Sydney, the median house price is a whopping $1.6 million. That's risen $120,000 over the past 12 months. That is more than many people earn here in Sydney, let alone around Australia.
120 people showed up to a single rental inspection in Sydney. One apartment, 120 applicants. That's not an exaggeration. That's the reality of Sydney's rental market right now. Vacancy rate hit 1.7% nationally. Sydney below 2%. Balanced market needs 3%. Median, Sydney rent reached $817 weekly. That's $3,540 monthly. For units alone, $750 weekly. And here's the number that explains why families are desperate. Sydney's median house price hit $1.75 million. That's 13.8 times median household income. Second most unaffordable city globally after Hong Kong. Rental listings 17% below 5-year averages. Supply shortage driving ferocious competition. Domain data shows tenants making compromises just to secure housing. Offering above asking rent, paying months in advance, waiving inspection rights. Premier Chris Minns watching families line up outside apartments like their concert tickets. While he announces 377,000 homes by 2029, actual renters fighting 120 to 1 odds just to view a property. Minns watches rental battle royale. Cotality data reveals national vacancy rate fell to 1.7%, end of 2025. Well below pre-COVID decade average of 3.3%. Sydney sitting below 2%. Some inner suburbs like Darlinghurst below 1%. For every 100 rental properties, less than 2 available. Competition catastrophic. Rental listings dropped 11% year-on-year nationally, sitting 17% below 5-year averages. Sydney particularly affected. Eastern suburbs, inner west seeing massive supply shortages. Properties listed Friday, gone by Monday, sometimes to Saturday. Sydney median rent hit $817 weekly, December 2025, up 7.1% annually. For houses, $855 weekly. Units $758 weekly. That's $3,708 monthly for median house, $3,285 monthly for median unit. Compared to median 2-person household income, roughly $134,000 annually. After tax, approximately $100,000. That's $8,333 monthly. Rent consuming 44% of after-tax income for median house, 39% for unit. Domain's Chief of Research, Dr. Nicola Powell confirmed, "It is a landlord's market in Sydney. We've got a tight vacancy rate below 2 to 3%, which is a more balanced market." What this is showcasing is the supply and demand imbalance across Sydney's rental market. Competition now involves rental inspections with 50, 80, 120 people queuing. Properties in Bondi, Coogee, Surrey Hills seeing applicant numbers in triple digits. Landlords receive 30 to 40 complete applications within hours of listing. Choose highest bidder. Best references. Most stable employment. Tenants with pets rejected instantly. Single parents struggling. Students impossible. The family outbid by 40 applications. Sarah is 32, primary school teacher, 2 kids ages 4 and 7, recently divorced, renting 2-bedroom unit in Parramatta for $580 weekly. Landlord issued notice. Selling property. Sarah given 90 days to vacate under NSW laws. Sarah started searching. Budget maximum $650 weekly. Needs 2 bedrooms, close to kids' school, close to her work, within 30-minute commute. She attended 15 inspections over 3 weeks. Every inspection, 30 to 60 people. One inspection in Maryland's, 80 people showed up for modest 2-bedroom unit listed at $620 weekly. Sarah submitted application, professional references, payslips, rental history, bank statements, everything agents requested. Heard nothing for week. Called agent, told property received 42 applications. Landlord chose dual income couple, no kids, higher combined income. Sorry. Sarah attended another inspection. Harris Park, 2-bedroom unit, $640 weekly. Older building, no parking, still better than nothing. Queue down street. Sarah counted roughly 70 people. Agent conducted group inspection. 15 people at once. Rotated through. Sarah filled application on spot. Offered $680 weekly. Above asking rent. $40 weekly premium. $2,080 annually extra. Week passed. Agent called. Property rented to family offering $720 weekly. $80 above asking. That's $4,160 annually above advertised price. Sarah couldn't compete. Can't afford $720 weekly. already stretching at $650. Sarah's 90-day notice expiring, 6 weeks gone. Still no apartment secured, starting to panic. Looked at Campbelltown, Blacktown, further west, cheaper, but adds hour each way to commute, 2 hours daily. Kids need after-school care, costs $50 daily, $250 weekly. Saves $100 on rent, spends $250 on childcare. Math doesn't work. Sarah now considering share housing. 2 kids in 1 bedroom. She sleeps in living room. Split 2-bedroom with another single parent. Never imagined this. Professional teacher. Stable employment. Good income. Can't find rental for her small family. That's Sydney 2026. 5 reasons rentals became Hunger Games. Reason 1. Supply collapsed while demand surged. Rental listings 17% below 5-year averages. Meanwhile, population growing. Over 650,000 new residents expected Sydney by 2034. Net immigration driving demand. New arrivals need housing. Most initially rent. Supply falling. Demand rising. Econ 101. Prices surge. Competition intensifies. Reason 2. Investor exodus reduced rental stock. Tighter rental laws favoring tenants. Increased compliance costs. Land tax increases. Foreign buyer restrictions. All reduced investor appetite. Many selling investment properties. Removing from rental pool. Every investor property sold is one less rental available. Supply shrinks. Competition worsens. Reason 3. Home ownership unattainable for most. Sydney median house price $1.75 million. 13.8 times median household income. Second most unaffordable globally. Young families can't buy. Forced to rent indefinitely. Creates permanent renter class. Demand for rentals stays high. Nobody graduating from renting to owning. Bottleneck. Reason 4. First home buyer scheme inflates prices without adding supply. Government's 5% deposit scheme allows buyers purchase up to $1.5 million with just 5% down. Sounds helpful. Actually makes problem worse. More buyers competing for same limited stock. Drives prices higher, makes homes less affordable, and doesn't create single new dwelling. Stimulates demand, doesn't address supply. Recipe for disaster. Reason 5. Construction industry collapsing. 3,217 builders collapsed 2024. Major insolvencies ongoing. New dwelling approvals down. Construction costs up 40%. Projects unviable. Builders walking away. Supply pipeline broken. Can't fix rental crisis when construction industry dying. What Mins can't fix, and what he can. Mins can't reduce demand. Population growth driven by federal immigration policy. State has limited control. Can't prevent people moving to Sydney for work. Can't stop interstate migration. Demand largely fixed. Mins can't reverse investor exits quickly. Damage done, trust broken. Investors burned by regulatory changes. Won't return easily. Takes years to rebuild confidence. Can't fix overnight. What Mins can do? Fast-track apartment approvals around transport hubs. NSW planning reforms targeting this. But implementation slow. Cut approval times from 18 months to 6 months. Remove NIMBY objections. Build density where infrastructure exists. Trains, buses, jobs, services. Release more Crown land for housing. Government owns vast land holdings. Release for development. Mandate affordable housing components. 30% of units below market rate. Provide supply. Addresses affordability. Directly. Build social housing at scale. 20,000 units annually across NSW. Takes pressure off private market. Provides options for low-income renters like Sarah. Waiting lists currently 3 to 5 years. Unacceptable. Massive construction program needed. Incentivize build-to-rent developments. Institutional investment in purpose-built rentals. Tax concessions. Planning bonuses. Streamlined approvals. BTR provides stable, professional rental stock. Long-term tenancies. Proper maintenance. Better than fragmented individual investor market. Reform strata laws to allow apartment conversions. Many commercial buildings sitting empty or underutilized. Convert to residential, offices to apartments, retail to mixed use. Increase supply using existing built environment. But Mins doing some of this, slowly. Planning reforms announced. Implementation lagging. Land releases promised, not delivered. Social housing targets set. Funding insufficient. Words don't house families. Construction does. And construction isn't happening fast enough. Where this crisis ends. Best case, construction accelerates through 2027, maybe 50,000 to 60,000 new dwellings annually, and higher than current approximately 40,000. Vacancy rates improve to 2.5%. Competition eases. Rent growth moderates to 3 to 4% annually, matches inflation. Sarah finds apartment, pays market rate, not premium, moves in, kids settled, life stabilizes. Worst case, construction stays constrained. Builder collapses continue. Maybe 35,000 to 40,000 dwellings annually, well below demand. Vacancy drops to 1%. Rental inspections hit 200 people. Bidding wars insane. Rents surge another 10 to 15% annually. Sarah can't find anything. Forced into homelessness services. Couch surfing. Kids bouncing between friends. Family destroyed. Social crisis. Political emergency. Realistic scenario. Current situation persists through 2027. 40,000 to 45,000 dwellings annually, barely keeping pace with population growth. Vacancy stays 1.5 to 2%. Competition remains fierce. 50 to 80 people per inspection normal. Rent growth 6 to 8% annually, above inflation, above wage growth. Sarah eventually finds place. Campbelltown, hour commute, $550 weekly. Cheaper but cost paid in time and childcare. Survives, but quality of life destroyed. Median rent growth forecast 24% between 2025 and 2030. CBRE projection. That's roughly 4.5% annually compounded. Sydney median rent currently $817. By 2030, $1,013 weekly. That's $4,390 monthly. $52,676 annually. On median household income $134,000. That's 39%. Severe rental stress. Entire generation locked in. The panic mins won't admit. 120 people competing for single Sydney apartment. Rental inspections with triple-digit attendance. Vacancy rate 1.7% nationally. Sydney below 2%. Balanced market needs 3%. Rental listings 17% below 5-year averages. Sydney median rent $817 weekly. Houses $855. Units $758. That's $3,708 monthly for house, $3,285 for unit. Median two-person household income, $134,000 annually. After tax, $100,000. Rent consuming 44% of income for house, 39% for unit. Reserve Bank stress threshold is 30%. Sarah, single mother teacher, attended 15 inspections, offered $680 weekly, $40 above asking, still rejected. Property rented at $720, $80 above asking. She's facing homelessness despite professional employment and stable income, because supply 17% below normal and competition catastrophic. Sydney median house price $1.75 million, 13.8 times median income. Second most unaffordable globally after Hong Kong. 3,217 builders collapsed 2024. Construction supply pipeline broken. Population growing 650,000 by 2034. All needing housing, most initially renting. This is how Premier Chris Minns' housing crisis became Sydney's rental Hunger Games. When 120 people fight for one apartment, system has failed. When professional teachers can't secure housing for small families, market is broken. When vacancy at 1.7% and supply 17% below normal, shortage is catastrophic. And when median rent forecast to hit $1,013 weekly by 2030, entire generation will be locked in permanent rental stress. More families will face homelessness, more renters will pay above asking, more inspections will hit triple digits. Hit subscribe to see how bad Sydney's rental crisis gets.